Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we have our family podcast. It's Big Sam and Nephews. My nephews are down in Atlanta. Say hello, nephews.
Hello.
What's going on?
And me and Sherry are here in Minneapolis. Hello, hello.
Hey.
And today we have a wonderful guest. We have the coach of the Cretin-Derham High School girls basketball team here in St. Paul. How you doing, Crystal Flint?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Okay, I was like, who are these brothers? I have never seen them, but now it makes sense. They're in the ATL. That's what's up. I love it.
Yeah, they not here, Crystal.
Like, I don't know them. Who are they? Are they guests too?
Hey, where they come from?
Right. So Crystal Flint, tell us a little bit about yourself, please, ma'am.
Well, let me get situated. A little advertisement. Y'all see triple threat.
Hey, little
There we go.
advertisement.
Triple threat.
Triple threat. Hey,
Little
advertise.
advertisement. I should have got my camera right. It looks a little high. My head's cut off. Let me get that right. But anyway,
You good.
y'all know how it is. We still
Yeah.
suffering through COVID. So, but how's everyone doing? My name is Crystal Flint. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, home of New Edition, Bobby Brown, Roxbury, and I got a basketball scholarship to play at the University of Minnesota. Graduated from there. And I was an assistant coach there for a few years. And then I was the head coach at Concordia University in St. Paul, officiated for 17 years, coached youth basketball for a number of years. Both of my sons, I coached them. And then I was the head girls basketball coach at Minneapolis North High School. And now I'm the current head coach at Cretin-Derham Hall. So I've coached, all different levels, boys and girls. I've officiated all different levels. I've played at different levels, and my children played at different levels. So, I think I'm well versed in the game. So.
Okay, so I have a question.
Go ahead.
You don't get questions, Sam.
Do what?
Trey. I know Trey graduates next year, right?
Correct.
Okay, so do you know if he's made a decision to play football or basketball?
No, right now he's still wanting to do both. He's been blessed and fortunate enough to be rated the #1 prospect in the class of 22 for both football and basketball. So
Okay, Trey.
definitely not making things any easier for him. We've always knew that he was pretty talented in both football and basketball since he was, started playing them both. And in his mind, he wants to do both. And I want to say 5 or 6 colleges agree with that. So he has offers in both football and basketball from Michigan State, Minnesota, Iowa State, Nebraska. I don't want to lie here.
Please don't.
I want to say Wisconsin.
He got a lot of offers from the Big Ten.
Yeah, I would say just about every Big Ten school has offered him in either one or the other, or highly recruiting him in one or the other. So that's truly a blessing. And you can never have too many options. And right now he has options.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I do want to say, just because you mentioned Wisconsin, I was watching the NCAA, and they were talking about how the Wisconsin team, they have been recruiting. They want people who played football with that football mindset also on the basketball floor, because it's a different kind of toughness that they want. Now and you see how the game is. So I watched them play today, but it didn't work out. But at the same time, I think it's good though. I think it's good because he has it. It's a different mindset to play both sports, and a different kind of toughness too though.
It definitely is. I would say that, and this isn't to say that any one school, whatever I say today, does not mean we're leaning toward one school or the other. But I will say PJ Fleck at Minnesota has been on his heels hard. Hard, as well as Rick Pitino and his staff before, he got let go. I also say that Tom Izzo from Michigan State University flew up to watch Trey's football practice, not basketball, but football practice. He's huge on the two-sport athlete. And so,
Okay, Izzo.
Huh?
I said I like Izzo.
Me too.
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy from what I'm getting to know. And right now, unfortunately, COVID hasn't allowed us to go on any visits, and his junior year should have opened up all of those visits. So he has not been on any formal visits. We've been on a few unofficial visits, but there's nothing like going on that official visit, staying overnight, and really getting to see the campus, talking to the academic advisors, walking the campus, and, stuff like that. So he hasn't been able to do that, but to see these coaches that, initially I thought it was, well, the football coach is really trying to help the basketball coach, recruit this kid for basketball. And, someone told me, oh no, they don't do that. If anything, they're trying to fight each other to get that prospect if they both are going after them. And I was just like, wow, because, I've been on the girls' side for a majority of my experience with basketball, but to see how it is on the boys' side is like, whoa, that's tight.
Now, Crystal, your other son is doing very well too. Now,
Correct.
He graduated from North Dakota School of Science.
Correct. He got his associate's degree last year with North Dakota State College of Science. Played basketball there. He had an injury his second year. Actually led that team in three-point field goal percentage. They won their conference both years. That last year, unfortunately, they were upset in the first round of their playoffs. So that was, that kind of put a damper on things in terms of, potentially him going on further. Got an opportunity to go out to Mount Marty in South Dakota, and it just didn't work out for him. And so he's back home. He's substitute teaching at Cretin-Derham Hall, and just really trying to find his way, like many other young men and women during this time. So, my prayer for him is that, hey, if basketball is done with, which I don't think it truly is for him, I think, this time away from it is going to give him some time to, really look in the mirror and do some retrospective thinking in regards to what he wants to do, whether it's to continue on and try and play basketball, or whether it's to continue on and get that 4-year degree, or, join the workforce. So he's had a half of a year to really, think about that and contemplate that. So he's looking at, perhaps real estate or doing a trade. So we'll see. But, so far so good for him. And, he did get his 2-year degree. But, just like Trey, I don't tell my boys what they should and shouldn't do, because the decision ultimately needs to be theirs. And if they're doing it for anyone except themselves, it's going to be that much more difficult. So.
Now, tell me
equally.
Somebody was saying something.
No, I said, but I'm proud of both of them.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's what I thought I heard. But I was going to ask you another question. So now, do you feel I know you feel the difference. I know you do. From coaching over at Minneapolis North, now coaching at Cretin-Derham Hall over in St. Paul.
Mm-hmm. I think surprisingly, there are a lot of the same challenges. However, they look different. So, you go from having, young people that have some real life struggles, maybe through trauma or lack of resources, who are dealing with being teenagers and trying to find themselves and playing a sport and dealing with the pressures of being in school and being in an environment that is challenging. And then you go to another school that has some kids that don't have as many of the financial struggles, but also have those mental challenges. Maybe it's anxiety and pressure to really excel academically, keeping up with the Joneses and getting straight A's, and having those resources, but still, really, I really thought that, oh, well, if you got some money and all your problems go away, but no, it really doesn't. I think that anxiety and mental health issues are just as rampant at a place like Cretin-Derham Hall as it is with Minneapolis North High School. And I think that the reasons behind it may be different, but those same challenges, those same self-esteem issues, those same parental pressure issues are at both places, and it's just as challenging. So and there's drama at both, because they're girls, they're girls. So it's been very, very eye-opening. But one of the things that I'm grateful for is that I've had young ladies at both places that have been very strong students, that have been very strong student athletes. My girls at North, they hit the books. I had A and B honor roll students. I had girls that came to practice every day. I had some parents that were very involved and encouraged their children to give their very best. And at Cretin-Derham Hall, I've had very strong students academically. I've had parents that have been supportive. I've had parents that have not at both places. I've had students that have transferred from North. I've had students that have transferred from Cretin-Derham Hall. So, it wasn't, like night and day. It just looked different. The challenges were different, but they both were still there. So, that I did retreats at Minneapolis North. I did retreats at Cretin-Derham Hall. So I brought in speakers at Minneapolis North. I brought in speakers to talk about different life situations at Cretin-Derham Hall. So, what I bring to the table has not changed. And I tell them, what I did at CDA or what I did at Minneapolis North, I do at Cretin-Derham Hall, because it's more than basketball at both places. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
I just feel blessed to have been able to coach, at the end of the day, some outstanding young women, that are going to go out and do some amazing things in the world. So.
But that's good. And I think that's really important that you said that you did things at North and you did things at Cretin-Derham Hall and nothing's changed. And that's really outstanding, because you don't deviate from your plan. I know your plan. I understand your plan, so I get it. So I understand that, I guess nothing changes really. But I want to ask you a really quick question. I know you talking about PJ Fleck all on his tail, on your son's tail. Do you think that if he had a chance, because basketball, they don't have a coach at the U, and I want to say this, and I'm not dogging Tino or anything like that. I'm just saying that they want to bring in Mario Green. Has some on Facebook. He has a thing where you can actually go and petition to open up for Sam Mitchell to come up here and coach. But I don't think he's going to get it. But the other guy, Ben Johnson, used to be the assistant coach for Pitino here. Ben Johnson's at Xavier now. He's assistant coach. How do you feel about if Ben Johnson came over and was the head coach of the Gophers?
I think that someone like a Ben Johnson would be a wonderful candidate. In particular, he's a U of M graduate, correct? He is from Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
I would imagine he's already done some recruiting in this state, which is what a lot of the fans would like, to keep the talent at home. So, as far as I'm concerned, it looks like Ben Johnson would be checking off many of those boxes that the University of Minnesota felt that Rick Pitino and his staff may have been lacking in. And not to mention, Ben Johnson is an African-American man. And I saw that maybe a week ago, there was a story on with either the Star Tribune or the St. Paul Pioneer Press that said that the University of Minnesota has 0 African-American head coaches in any sport, at the University of Minnesota. So there's another box check. So you want to say local person, graduate, has ties recruiting, and is also African-American or a person of color. That's 4 things right there. Being that he's not a head coach, so what? I know who Juwan Howard was not a head coach, right?
Neither was Pitino. Pitino got brought in to be a head coach. He was an assistant coach for his daddy.
Oh, was he an assistant coach before?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he left. Okay.
Well, he was not a head coach. He was he coached for his daddy at Louisville.
Okay.
He got the job here. He moved here.
Oh, I thought he came from a college. Okay, so there you go. And I think that what happens in not only the world of sports. I mean, you could go in education. You could go. I mean, really pick a field. When people seek out Black people, I'm gonna say Black people because I'm Black. Okay.
Exactly.
We have to be the best of the best already. We have to be already established. We have to already have won championships. We have to already been tested and proven. Whereas, people of other ethnicities that come in particular, Caucasian coaches, they don't have to do that. Caucasian teachers, they don't have to do that. You know what I mean? So why do we have to be the best of the best already? If I may borrow from the late John Thompson, right, from Georgetown, just passed away, he said, give us an opportunity to fail.
Right.
Give us an opportunity to fail because others get an opportunity to fail. Yeah. No slight against Rick Pitino, but Rick Pitino just got fired, right?
Yeah.
Right.
2 days later, he got a head coach job.
Yep.
You tell me how many Black coaches will get fired and then 2 days later have a job?
0. I think, how long did it take Tubby to get a job after he got fired from here?
Oh, wow. And may I add, unjustly so, because I was a huge Tubby Smith supporter. Tubby Smith supporter. But my thing is, like, give this young man an opportunity to show what he can do, and give him the time that others have gotten. Not a year, not 2 years. Give him 7 or 8 years, like everybody else. I mean, So that's just my take on it. And I'm not saying. Let me be clear. if Ben Johnson comes to the U of M, my son's coming to the U of M. I'm saying give that brother an opportunity to show what he can do.
Right. And I feel bad because we have so many alumni here in Minnesota that could probably do that job. Like off the top of my head, like Randy Carter. He's a graduate. He played. He coaches at Minnehaha High Academy. We just let Jalen Suggs go. Chet Holmgren is there. Like, I feel like they have the pulse on the stuff. Ariel McDonald, his son plays just like him. So I feel like we have so many alumni here that they should, I agree with you, they should get a chance to be able to fail for 5 years. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they would, because I think that they have a pulse on the system and a pulse on the kids. And just because, so Pastor Connell Lewis said that the only reason why he came to Minnesota was because Clem Haskins was coaching, and he was a Black coach. So all these kids you trying to recruit, they're not going to come here. They don't see anybody like them. Who they supposed to relate to? So
and I totally agree. Randy Carter has come to mind year after year. Why that young man has not already been on the University of Minnesota staff is mind-blowing to me. Randy Carter here from Memphis, Tennessee, with great credentials, did an awesome job here, went and got his degree, got his master's degree, has a pulse on young people, is a proven has proven knowledge of the game. Ask me how I know. Randy Carter has coached my son, Jalen Suggs, Prince, Chet Holmgren, his own son, who's the top recruit in the state. Really would have the class of 2022 on lock because he coached with these kids or against these kids. Now, I don't know if Randy even wants it. Maybe he don't want the head coach, but ask, find out.
Right, interview. Maybe they say, you know what, thank you for the interview, but I'm not interested. Plus, he played overseas. Like, it's not like he's
just like, it's like, come on. And like I said, Randy went back and got his degree. He went on and got his master's degree. So it can't be about, he didn't finish.
He didn't graduate.
And he's still here. So he can tell the recruit why to either come here or stay here, why he's still here, and what opportunities were afforded him by getting a degree from the University of Minnesota. You know what I mean? Does that mean that everybody's going to want to come to the University of Minnesota?
No.
Probably not. Because first of all, you can't keep everybody. But Randy can also say why he chose to come from Memphis to the University of Minnesota. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But I just think, the powers that be need to do their homework, need to think outside the box for a change. You know what I mean?
I don't want to cut you off, Crystal, but
yeah, I'm sorry.
That's the key word. Think outside the box.
Outside of their network.
They're not gonna here. Come on. They're not going to do that. And it's like I hate to cut you off, but I want to say
no, that's okay.
Sam Mitchell would be an excellent person to have, but the media ran him out of town. Because I worked for the radio station for many years. So I used to hear these guys talking all the time about, well, Sam's not good. And just like, man, stop it. Stop it. He's a good enough coach. So now Sam's like, I'm not trying to be an NBA coach anymore. I want to go college.
As he should. And I've been to the Timberwolves had a leadership. It was like a captain's high school leadership. What do I call it? Not a convention, but like a workshop that went to right before Sam Mitchell was let go. And I remember his talk to the young people that on that day, and he talked about how you know, even the pros work on the fundamentals and all those things, and how, you know, you have to work at the little things, even in high school, and be, you know, proactive and stuff like that. And John Thomas was a part. I think John Thomas had just been hired in his position that he has there. And Sam Mitchell struck me as just a really sincere individual who cared about the sport. I saw him on a what do you call it? It was a basketball show that they had where he was doing something with some of the top high school kids, and he brought them overseas to play. It wasn't USA basketball, but it was an international thing, and he coached them, and that probably, you know, lit something under him to say, hey, you know, I want to work with with this age group. And you're right. I think the media, and not only the media, I think the community also needs to be careful what they say, because as much as they say on the one hand, oh, you know, our kids need to stay at home, but then they trash the university on social media and saying how, you know, they're whack, and, you know, this school is good and that school is good. What's going to make our kids want to stay home when you're saying that they're trash and that they can't compete, you know, or that they didn't recruit my family or my son, or, you know, like, that was then, this is now. Encourage those kids, speak well about the university, and maybe they will stay, you know. But if you hyping up another state and another college or another coach, what's going to make me want to stay here? And those same people don't even go to the games right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, nephew, real quick, how much time do we have?
You got like 8 minutes.
Oops, sorry.
No,
I can go on and on. I'm sorry.
Continue on.
Continue.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, let's really be mindful how we talk about programs, high school programs too. You know, I know people that, you know, would be like, you know, Minneapolis North is this, that, and other, and they ain't this, that, and other. My kids would never go there. Then, you know, when someone's kids don't go there, and you say, well, how come? Well, where are you sending your child to school?
Right.
Where does your you want my child to go somewhere that you're not even sending your child to be at? So, you know, I think people need to be mindful how they bash on social media, because it does affect the young people.
You know, and it's sad because people are extremely hypocritical when it comes to that particular subject. It's just like, wow. How can they? But they do it. They just, you know. So you think about how I was watching these games. You know, I just think about all these kids. The boy that was at what was that school out at the North End? Anyway, the guard plays in the Pac-10. He was Mr. Basketball 4 years ago. McKinley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same thing with him. Theo Johns. He went to Marquette. I mean, the list goes on. The Jones boys, they didn't pick Minnesota. They went over to Duke. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, they just don't know. But I'm with Crystal about high school programs here. That hurts everybody, especially schools that don't have a feeder program. Like at Henry Sibley, they have a feeder program, but it's split. So girls can go to Cretin, visitation, like they have options. So I feel like once you give the kids options, they get to like choose. Where like back in the day, you didn't have an option. Like if you live on the north side, you are going to North High School. If you live on this end of the north side, you're going to Henry. If you live over here in the northeast side, you're going to Edison. Like there wasn't like an option to pick a school to go to.
But so you know what? And I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Were you finished?
You're good.
No.
The adults pit these young people against each other and say, you know, this one's ranked and that one ain't ranked, and don't go play with this one, don't go play with that one. And they pit these kids against each other. You know what I mean? And they bash these schools, or they don't like the coach, so they bash the program and they bash the kids. Like stay out of it. Your beef Your beef is not the young people's beef. Like, let these young people be friends. Let them play where they want to play. Adults are not in charge of children. You just are not. These kids can go and play with whatever AAU, whatever circuit team they want to play with. And then they can go on to whatever college they want to play on. Just because the U of M didn't recruit my son doesn't mean I'm going to tell everybody else,
don't go there.
You is whack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's too much of that goes on. And then they wonder why a kid saying, nope, I want to leave the state.
Right. Don't nobody want to go there. They have this. They don't have this. They don't have enough of this.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about
talent.
when you coached at North, like North High School used to be the premier high school to go to because they had a Sumatech program, which is like a technology program that was huge. So back in the day, everybody wanted to go to North. Oh, they got a Sumatech program. I want to go. And then all of a sudden it got from, ooh, that's in a bad neighborhood. You don't want to go there. You should just go over here. You know, you could just get on the city bus and go to Southwest. Like, why would you do
Until
that?
the boys started winning, you know what I mean?
Right,
now everybody want to transfer and come to North to play football and play basketball. You know what I'm saying? But those are the same people that were saying that the school is garbage and this, that, and others.
Exactly.
Like, cut it out. Cut it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because these parents tend to get involved. And I worked for Renee Pulley for many, many years. And I just find that this AAU programs now, you know, or that's the link now, you know, to that. But I still, just my own opinion, I'd say that Renee Pulley has got the top program around in the state.
I will say this, and that's because I can't speak for anyone else. My son has played with Renee Pulley. It has been the most professional, run, organized program. Has given my son a platform that, contrary to popular belief, he has maintained his level of play against any competition out there. I think that because of Pulley, there are other shoe circuits that kids can go and be a part of. Renee does not, or Pulley, I should say, does not have 3-4 different levels of teams. It's either you make that 17 or you don't make it. So that opened doors for other programs to say, hey, here's another opportunity. Here's another opportunity. You got, now you got Under, now you got Adidas, and now those are options for other kids. So people that want to bash Pulley, no, those other programs exist because there was a Pulley. So now those kids, because remember back in the day, it was Pulley or nothing.
No, trust me, I know.
It was Pulley or nothing. So now, you know, other programs say, hey, let's try and give other opportunities for kids. And that's a great thing. That's not old Pulley's whack now. No, Pulley is still giving kids opportunities. And that's what it's always been about. Opportunities for young people. Now they got other options. You could go play with Nike. You could play with Adidas. You could play with Under Armour. You could play with NYS. You could play local. You could play in your backyard if you want to. You could get a trainer. You could do, you know what I mean? So instead of bashing a program that actually gave a lot of young men, an opportunity to go out and put Minnesota on the map. And I'm gonna be quiet because I see the 1 minute.
Hey, thank you very much. See, I told you, Crystal. I kept telling you, I said, you got stuff to offer. You don't want to be on the show. Thank you, man.
Next time you come, we're going to talk about triple threat.
Hey,
You have to.
Can I 1 minute? 30 seconds. Triple threat girls basketball senior showcase, Sunday, April 25th. Also a middle school showcase for girls by women. Thank you.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you very much, Crystal Flint, head coach.
Crystal.
Cretin-Derham High School. thank you all. Thank you very much. I'm going to
Thank
close
you all.
now.
We out.
We out. Bye. Thank you, Crystal.